Thank you. Well, first of all, I'd like to wish everybody a Happy New Year. I think it's still within the range. And then I'm here to talk about that one very simple thing. That joy, that peace, the possibility that exists because you are alive. Now, I'm sure there are people who would like to hear something new, so I have something new to tell you. Did you know a bumblebee can go around the world with just 1 gallon of honey? There. So much for the new stuff. It can, apparently. I haven't asked a bumblebee, but that's the calculation. But what's important? And what is important is that you have this life. That is important. That is true. That is real. And if somebody was to say to you that, given that you have this incredible opportunity, this fantastic opportunity, to have this thing called life, what would you do? What would you do with it? Would you squander it away? Or would you embrace it and make the most out of it? Which one? Don't give me the theory bit, okay? I really don't need the theory bit. The theory bit goes, oh, we would, of course, make the most out of it. Well, if that's true, then why do we squander it? And I cannot speak for you, but I am guilty of the same. Because one moment lost is not a moment that is coming back, that is redeemable, that is tunable, that is reversible. Such is the severity of the subject that I talk about. Because it isn't, this life has to be lived consciously. Because it isn't, you cannot afford anything else but that simple singularity in your life, to pursue that one thing that is nothing less than fulfillment every single day. To be fulfilled. To be in that joy. This is what every drop of water does. Every drop of water. How do I know this? I just happened to be taking pictures of drops of water not too long ago. Now I've got my little setup. The shutter speed to catch it, 64/100th of a second. Not 1 second, 64/100th of a second. And when you shoot this Little drop doing its thing. What do you see? Sheer magic. Because what is going to happen? There is nothing you can do about it. That drop is going to fall, not because you caused it to fall. It's going to fall because of the good old thing called gravity. Nature. Water, nature. Falling, nature. What's going to happen? You have no control over it. All you can do is be that witness in 64/100th of a second, be able to snap it. And what is? It takes a lot of patience, believe me, because you're there waiting for that drop to fall and you go, cluck, and you look at the screen and there's nothing there. Nothing. You missed it. Try again. Nothing. Then try to get in rhythm. Try to get in rhythm. Closer and closer and closer and closer and closer. And then magic. And what have you just taken a picture of? Something that'll never be duplicated. It can't. I took in one session, I took 1,800 pictures. And except for those pictures where there's nothing, those are completely alike, amazingly enough. That's completely alike. But where there is that magic, it's not alike. So why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because that's the way it is with life. If you're not in rhythm, you are the photographer. You are the photographer. And if you're not in rhythm, believe me, every time you turn to that screen, it's going to be nothing, 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 nothing. And then there may be an accident. And when that accident happens, there might be something. And then you go again. And nothing, 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 and then the warning. Card full. That's it. No more. Isn't that what happens in life? Here we are. Somebody tells us, there's magic out there. Oh yeah, I want part of that magic. I want that. Somebody says the word peace. That sounds good. Where is it? It's within you. So let me get my rig together. Okay, I'm looking for peace now. Peace, 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 peace. Nothing. Peace, nothing. Peace, nothing, nothing, nothing. And then, oh my God. I think there's something there. Is that peace? What does peace feel like? When you are in a vegetable state? Or is it when you have really had a good night's sleep and you wake up in the morning and you're fresh and you look out the window and there's just a beautiful sight and you go, this is peace. That's peace. What is peace? What is peace? So why does this world go around in a circle, 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 going, this is peace, this is peace, this is peace, this is peace. World peace. You heard me say world peace, right? World peace. And I'm here today to tell you it all begins with personal peace, not world peace. It begins with personal peace. Peace within you. Is there one? Yes. Then the question is, what does it feel like? This question can only be answered with a question. Have you never felt it? Because if you haven't, you should feel it. And when you have felt that peace, because it is important, then your life, then every drop you begin to see and appreciate. How beautiful. It's a simple story. It's not a complicated story. You came. And you were given this chance, this opportunity to be, of all things in this world, you were given the opportunity to be alive. It's the most supreme gift. And when you opened your eyes, not when you were a baby, much later, when you opened your eyes, you've heard that one, right? Open your eyes. There's even a song. Moody Blues has that song. Open your eyes, look inside, something like that. What does that mean, to open your eyes? To understand this rhythm that is flowing through you. This dance that is everywhere, that's dancing. This beauty that is vying for your attention. Look at me. Feel me. Experience me. Let me fill you. Let me fill you. Have you ever seen a river merge with the ocean? Have you ever seen it? Maybe from an airplane? You can actually tell where that river water is. It doesn't keep going. It doesn't keep going and going and going. There's a distinct line. And it's not flowing anymore, and whatever the sediments were in the river are starting to settle, and it has no reason to flow anymore because it can't flow anymore. It's reached the sea level. It has nowhere to go. It's content. This was its journey. This was its journey. This is what it was aiming for. This is why it went over the rocks. This is why it fell. This is why it picked itself up. This is why it went and relentlessly went and never slept and never took a break and never even in a moment, no hesitation to just keep going and going and going and going and going and going and going till it met with the ocean. How simple. This is where the journey began from. And now that this river has joined the ocean again, this journey is complete. That is peace. No more. Fulfilled. This is fulfillment. Now, our fulfillment in this life, in this world, is, oh yeah, let's have a great party. Was that a good party? And we have to ask other people. We don't, it's like, it's one of those things, Was it a good, did you enjoy yourself? Or everybody coming to you and saying, oh, that was a great party. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. That was a great party. That was a wonderful party. That was a wonderful dinner. That was a wonderful this. That was a wonderful vacation. Wonderful gift, a wonderful speech, a wonderful this, a wonderful that, the wonderful, 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 and keep wondering. Full of wonder. Why am I asking people if they enjoyed themselves? Either they did or they didn't. Now that the party is over, I can't really help them. It's not like, oh, gee, you're not enjoying yourself, let me help you out here. So is the water salty? The river is fresh, the water is salty. Should I be really going there and destroying my freshness? No. I join, I become one. And in this is my fulfillment. In this. Nobody needs to ask me, nobody needs to query. I don't have to write a book. These days, oh yeah, I found enlightenment. Let me write a book. I'm enlightened now. Let me tell you that I am enlightened. It's like every bulb on the street going, shh, I'm lit. The cadence of this song, the rhythm, to be a part of that, not the analysis, not the analysis, but just to take in the moment of life. Unfortunately, a lot of our thoughts turn to these things only when we are saddened by the situation. Not from sadness. Not from sadness, but from great delight. Delight. Embrace this life. From great delight, embrace this moment. From great delight, take in the joy that your heart wants you to feel. Not from frustration, but simplicity. Not the complicated. Not the complicated. You see, the vapor rises from the ocean, becomes the cloud, gets transported, falls as rain. All this has been now divided. One here, one there, one there, one there, one there, one there. Divided, right? To be united again. To be united again. And not only to be united again, but to be united from that source where it began from. This is the story. These are the possibilities. Just that begins with that vapor. Vapor. So does your life begin in the truest of its understanding from a simplicity of consciousness, of being conscious, of being aware, of wanting to know. Hard to write a book about this stuff because it's so living. It has to be felt every day in the contrast of everything that goes on in your life, everything that happens in your life. This is happening, that's happening, this is this way, this is this way. And you're trying to cope and trying to make things better, and you have your hopes, and you have your dreams, and you have your ideas, and you look at the world, and you look at yourself, and you want the world to be good, and some days you want to be good, and some days you want the world to be good, and some days you want to be good, and you want your neighbor to be good, and you want your cat to be good, and you want your dog to be good, and you want your toilet to be good, and you want your sink to be good, and you want all these things to be good, and this is your pursuit. Sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? Your clothes, your shoes, your car, your friends. I mean, after all, is that what life is? I'm not here as a preacher trying to preach to you, your life shouldn't be like that. You should be much more organized than that. I'm not. Sometimes I get to the car and go, oh, I forgot the keys. Then go back, get them. Ah, it's the wrong ones. Look at your watch, which you just synchronized with the atomic clock in Colorado. So now you know you're going to be late. Before you could have a little margin of doubt, but now you have no doubt. I'm going to be late. And in this business of late, and late, and late, and late, one day it'll become too late. And that's the reason why I am here today. I never want it to be too late for you to be fulfilled. It doesn't matter who you are, how old you are, how intelligent you are, how non-intelligent you are. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. This is not an Eastern philosophy. This is not an Eastern thing, a Western thing. I mean, believe me, it's not. All it is just being human. Because what else can you be? What else are you going to be? What else could you possibly be? So if that's who you are, then accept that fact. Accept it. Don't say, well, I want to be something different. I want to be some enlightened little firefly. It's impossible. You're human. And of course, you're going to make mistakes. Of course, you're going to make mistakes. And you're going to try not to make mistakes, and then you'll make more mistakes. Because trying not to make mistake is a mistake. That's taking on something that human beings simply cannot do. I mean, it's just, that's something we all do. But instead of honing in, learning from it, we will learn how to ignore the learning and accept making more mistakes in this life. Oh, I made a mistake. I wasted today. Okay, fine. What about tomorrow? Will you waste that too? Well, you got a plan. Gotta have a plan. Absolutely gotta have a plan. You gotta have a plan. What is it? If I wasted today, I'm not going to lament another second. Not going to waste another second lamenting that I wasted today, but I'll come up with a plan for tomorrow. I will try a little harder, and that's all it takes. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. That's all it takes to be a little more conscious, to see, to appreciate. Appreciation begins not from other people. Appreciation begins from within yourself. To appreciate first that you are alive. And believe me, that is the most difficult thing to do. Most difficult thing to do. Because just when you get there, somebody will come along. By the way, by the way, not by the way, let me be on my way. My way. You go on your way, I'll be on my way, and let's not be by the way. Let me go to my destination, to my call, which I understand because I have felt what it means. That there's something in me that calls me again and again to be fulfilled. And I am so thankful for that. Because without that, prompting me again and again to be fulfilled, I would be lost. That is my courage. That is my encouragement. That is my courage. That's what gives me the courage to every day move forward from that place so I can be fulfilled. So I can understand. Are you here in this world to change things or to understand things? And as that prayer goes, some things, that's all you can do is understand. Some things you can change. And what you got to figure out is the difference between the two. Because we all spend way too much time trying to change the things we cannot change. Makes us like, I'll be a hero. Because we hear to accomplish the impossible. No, it wasn't impossible, was it? I mean, right there, the definition of impossible is it can't be done. And so if somebody did it, it was doable. But it sounds so good. Oh, that person just did the impossible. So we all want to be heroes. One moment we want to be heroes, one moment we are beggars, one moment we are know-it-all, one moment we don't know anything. This is the contrast. This is your contrast, not pleasant. This is your contrast. And the hero in this picture is looking for stability. In the middle of the storm. In the middle of the storm. Looking for stability. I was watching this documentary once, and it was showing the desert. And do you know what happens? It's really amazing. It's really kind of cool. Especially on dry lake beds, when it starts to get dry. It gets really dry, and 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 there's no water, and it gets really, really dry. The earth starts to crack. Crack, 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 crack. And I was like, what's the point? What's the point of this cracking? Then one day when I was watching this documentary and I saw the raindrops starting to come. Come, 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 come. If it wasn't for those cracks, all that water would just run off. But that crack allows the water to go in between and get to the root of it. Deep, deep, deep down. Because that's the depth of the thirst. It's the earth going, come. And that division, that crack, is its cry, come. I'm ready. I'm ready. I am ready. And then it begins. Somewhere, a show starts. Lightning, thunder. The heralding of the coming of the thirst quenching water. What a trumpet. What a show. Lightning. And the air begins to fill with humidity. Because it's the coming. And then one big fat drop after another, after another, after another. How thirsty are you? Because here it comes. And boom, 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 boom. And the whole air fills with perfume of the soil being drenched with this pure, magnificent water for which it had been waiting for. And the wait is no more. In that moment, the wait is no more. And it begins to fill and flow and fill and flow. And everything that was waiting. And you know, this is such a funny word called waiting. Because in nature, the word isn't waiting. In the nature, the word would be ready. Ready, 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 whenever ready, whenever ready, whenever ready, 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 ready. Not waiting. Because waiting are people at the airport. Have you seen them? Have you seen people waiting at the airport? Completely zoned out because they know their flight isn't for another 3 hours, especially when these storms come or things happen and people are waiting at the airport. They're just zoned out. That's waiting. Seen people in doctor's office? That's waiting. They're waiting. Okay, this is going 100 miles an hour. Am I going to live? Am I going to die? Is it going to hurt? I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Have you seen people waiting for a bus? I mean, it's not like they have to look out for it. It's like a little bumblebee or something that might just go, oh my God, I missed it. This thing is gonna come and it's gonna park right in front of you. And so it's not an issue that you have to sit there and go. So there they are, just waiting and waiting and waiting. Some people are waiting for God. Waiting, sometimes they close their eyes, look down, and they go, whoa, wait a minute. I got my eyes closed. How am I going to see him? Oh. So they're up, and they're waiting, and they're waiting, and they're waiting, and they're waiting. So this person is waiting, and that person is waiting, but in the nature, nothing is waiting, it's ready. Ready. It's January. Still January. Still January. And if you get 3 days of warm weather in January, those buds go, we're good to go. Launch. Because they're not waiting for February. They're not waiting for March. They're not, it's not March yet. You can just imagine one bud going to the other. Martha, stay down. It's not time yet. It's the wrong. Have you seen the calendar? Mark the date on the calendar. No, they're ready now. Here comes the drop, ready, ready to accept, ready to be a part of it. So there's the green grass, ready. There's the little acorn, ready. There's the little drop, ready. Ready, and ready, and ready. And so, I say to you, humbly, very humbly, please ask yourself, are you waiting or are you ready? Because if you're waiting, it's not going to happen. Just isn't. But if you're ready, it will. It will. Always does. Always. Always. That's all. That's the difference. Is the ocean ready? Yes. Is the vapor ready? Yes. Is the sun ready? Yes. Is the cloud ready? Yes. Is the wind ready? Yes. Is the rain ready? Yes. And that little seed, lying in some desert, lying in some land, somewhere. Is it ready? Yes. Whenever. Whenever. Wherever. Whenever. There will be fulfillment. This is the gift of all gifts, this breath that comes into you, that brings you. This is your drop. This is your drop. Comes into you, and it splashes you with life. Are you waiting? Are you ready? Don't wait. This is too quick. This is quicker than that drop of water. It takes focus. 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 And when you are, and when there is that rhythm, the picture will be taken. When that rain comes, and when that seed is ready, the grass. How fragile that little seed must be, and yet how strong that seed is to be able to say, I'm ready. Just come, I'm ready. And the rain comes. That is the most magnificent kindness that there is. That it does come. It does come. In all our lives. Some people will look at their life and they will weigh it by what has happened. Some people will look at their lives and weigh it by what could happen. What could happen? What could happen? There could be that sweet sound of thunder at a distance. and the display of those lights and the coming of the rain. That could happen. That could happen. And it wouldn't be wishful thinking, because on the face of this earth, this has happened again and again and again and again and again. This is what Kabir says. The sky thunders. Wherever I see, all around is lightning. The nectar rains from these clouds. And Kabir is drenched. Drenched. Should you not be drenched in this life? Should you not be? What difference does it make about all those contrasts in the back? You will never see it. You don't have eyes in the back of your head, fortunately. Pay no attention, and it'll be gone. Pay attention to what is at hand. And what is at hand? Always. Always. Whenever you ever find a moment in which you have to say to yourself, God, there is nothing happening. There's nothing going on. Stop. Turn inside and know that even when there is absolutely nothing happening, there is something going on, and it is the most magnificent. The coming and going of this breath. And if it wasn't happening, you wouldn't ask yourself, how come there's nothing happening? Love it the way that works. Because of this, everything is happening. Everything. Good, bad, right, wrong. This world just keeps going round and 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 round. Disasters, joy. Same coin, one side joy, one side disaster. Joy, disaster, joy, disaster. As though if somebody was put their finger on that coin and gave it a flick and it just sits there. Tick, 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 tick. Joy, disaster, joy, disaster, joy, disaster, joy, disaster, joy, disaster, joy, disaster, joy, disaster. And then somehow in this joy, disaster, you see something shining and you go, wow, glittering. And I am not the one to say this, but so many before me have called this an illusion. Illusion. Some magician showing you something. And you see the ball disappear. And you go, wow. And do you know what the trick of a magician is, right? One very important rule in that magician's trick is distraction. Without distraction, get your attention over here, while the magician puts away the ball over here. Distraction. When you are distracted, the wool is pulled over your eyes. When you're distracted, you're made a fool of. Because that guy didn't really make the ball disappear. The ball's still there. They take a person, they cut him in half, and people go, I've seen this. I've seen them do this, and I've seen people go, I have problem with movies. People get so involved with movies, they're crying, they're there. No, but this is a movie. It's just a movie. The guy was acting. He didn't really die. Oh, but he dies at the end. No, he didn't. He's still alive. But he played a scene in which he convinced you he's dead. And not only did he part you with your hard-earned money, he made you cry. And you love the crying so much, you would gladly pay again so that this crying can be further inflicted upon you. And when somebody close to you, like your child, your husband, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your wife, makes you cry, you don't give them any money. You know, if your husband makes you cry the next time, you say, honey, that was good. That was so good. Here, let me give you $10. Next time your child comes to Dad, you know, I flunked in everything, and you start crying, give him some money. Go, oh man, that was really good. You made me cry. Distraction. When we get distracted, that's when the whole world takes advantage of us. Don't be distracted. Don't be distracted by anything. Don't. People say, oh, on such and such a day, a miracle is going to happen. Oh, really? Tell me about it. Don't be distracted. Because miracle is happening every second inside of you. What miracle? Unbelievable. Where does it come from? Here comes this breath, just brought life. Here it left. Where did it go? And here comes another one. This is what's going to keep happening your whole life long. This is what's going to happen. We ask our spouses, we ask our girlfriends, we ask our boyfriends, will you love me for my whole life? We never ask the breath, will you love me for all my life? Because the answer is absolutely. And I'll prove it. This is love. This is no judgment. The world may say, you've been a bad boy. You're terrible. Your husband might say, you've been terrible. Your wife might say, you've been terrible. Your child might say, oh, Dad, you're the worst. And this? Coming. 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 Another one. Another one. Another one. And no judgment. How can this be? No judgment. This is the thing that should judge us. Oh, that was so bad. I'm out of here. No judgment. This is called giving. We write a check, we think that's giving. That's not giving. This is giving. In abundance. In abundance. 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 We see somebody, we meet somebody, oh, I'm charmed. This is charming. This is charming. Of course it is charming. My goodness. If you don't find this charming, I don't know. I don't know. What is? Life. Life. Your life. To appreciate. Just to appreciate. I mean, you don't have to do anything. You just appreciate. It's not like a cake. You have to cut it and eat it. It's just to appreciate. Wow. And if you can't appreciate yourself, how are you going to appreciate your children? How are you going to appreciate your family? How are you going to appreciate anybody? Anybody. But just to appreciate that I am alive. That's an art. That's the true art. And for this, there is no book called Dummies for People Looking for Contentment. There isn't one. No yellow book, sorry. This you have to feel. This you have to feel. That's the difference between waiting. If you're waiting for your airplane at the airport and you are really, really, really tired, you fall asleep and you miss your flight because you're waiting. You wake up, refreshed, because you hadn't had that good of a sleep in the last 48 hours, so you now finally got some sleep and you're refreshed and you naturally woke up and wow. Only to realize your flight's left 24 hours ago. So the blade of grass doesn't go, oh, this rain, such a overdone thing, it'll come again. When you're ready, you're ready. You're not waiting. So, the bumblebee can go around the world on 1 gallon of honey. That's pretty good. Because, you know, I couldn't go around the world with 1 gallon of anything. But it does. That's all it would need. Totally green. Totally green. I mean, in the production of that honey, it's just totally natural. It's something what the flowers wanted to give voluntarily so that the bee could come and could do the dab. So, I mean, it's like, it's the only thing where nothing is being destroyed, in fact, created. Pollination has occurred, and boy, that bumblebee is going to be happy going around the world with 1 gallon of honey available. I mean, you can just, they get so caught up, so focused on getting that honey, that they do not care about anything. Just flower to flower to flower to flower. I mean, what an agenda. What a plan. What a plan. Just keep doing it. Doing it and doing it. And one flower to the other flower. And if there wasn't any in that flower, go to the other flower. If it isn't in this whole bush, go somewhere else. And then give these flowers a little time to recuperate and come back, see if they've got some more. And not one single complaint. Oh my God. This is so boring. I mean, I can imagine the teenager of today going, God, this is boring. I just did this, didn't I? But so focused, and so focused, and that's what focusing means, so focused. You too should go around your world on 1 gallon of honey, of pure, sweet, wonderful honey. And the only way to get that honey is to be focused. That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say. No more, no less. Make a difference this year. Of all the years that you've been alive on the face of this earth, make a difference this year. Light up that lamp inside, because that's the only way there can be light on the outside. It's not about what you have accomplished, not what you are going to accomplish, it's what already is there. You know, there's so many books out there, so many great authors. People are like, well, and I once in a while get this buzz too. I should write a book, I should write a book, I should write a book. And the other day I was looking at this bee and I'd like that bee to write a book. like to tell me how this little thing can stay so focused. Because this big thing has a very hard time doing that. This little thing doesn't. Be focused. Be conscious. And most importantly, enjoy every single moment of this life. And if you say to yourself, gee, that would be hard, that's not going to be possible, try. And if you couldn't do it today, try a little harder for tomorrow. And if you couldn't do it tomorrow, try a little harder the day after that. Who knows? Just one of these days. Because you are in the state of not waiting but ready, when the rain comes, you will sprout. And that's all that matters. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. I know you are all very concerned about what the world is going to think of you and what the world thinks of you. You are. You are. But you should be more concerned about what you truly, truly, truly think of yourself. Truly. That's what I said, truly. Because there are some people who's like, well, I'm the best person there is. God and me are just, separated friends, that's all. No, but truly, 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 truly. I could go on, but then, I've got the whole year has already been plotted out, and it just goes around the world, everywhere, talking about this message, bringing this joy and hope. Because it's good news. It's all good news. It's not bad news. It's really, really, really good news. It's really good news. And when people hear it, they like it. I like it too. I like it too. So thank you very much, and good night. Thank you.